Guys, I'm going live early. How about that? A little bit early. For those of you who are here early, do me a favor, post in that chat section if you can hear me. I would appreciate that. I didn't mean to go live early. I was checking out some of my equipment and things started up, so what the heck, why not get started a little bit early? Those of you who were waiting for me at 10 o'clock, well, you get an early dose of me, I guess. So this is going to be our motivation session today. And make sure, I want to make sure that you can hear me. So do me a favor, post in that chat section or give me a thumbs up or something. Interact with me a little bit and let me know that you can hear me. I'm also going to check it on my phone and probably an iPad here. Give me 1 second, guys. Trying to get everything set up on a Saturday morning. I guess it doesn't matter what morning is it. What difference does it make if it's a Saturday morning? It makes no difference, does it? Okay, so let me just check one other thing here to make sure we're looking good. All right, so there's my channel, and tell me where you're at, what you're doing, man. Tell me what's going on. Good morning, Dennis. What's going on, buddy? Let me know if you can hear my audio. I'm a little concerned that you guys can't hear my audio, but maybe you can. I'm going to try to check it right here to make sure. Yes, you can, because I just checked it on my phone here, so you can hear my audio. That's good. That's a good thing. And we're going to talk all about motivation today. I want to share a couple stories with you today. I think you're going to like them. I think when you leave here today, after this training, you're going to look at motivation entirely different. Tyann, what's going on? Good to see you, man. Good morning. I saw you jumped in there and got that quiz done a couple times, which is great. We had thousands of people do that, but I got my favorites out there. You were my favorites. Dennis, good, he can hear me. And if you're having problem with motivation, put that in the chat box. I think everybody to a certain degree has a problem with motivation, but I think I can fix it for you today. I really do. I think I can fix it for you. It's taken me 61 years to figure out some of these things. So I guess if I can share it with you and you're younger than me, I'll speed up the process for you. Another thing I want to talk about is, we're going to get into motivation and how you can have motivation and all that. But I want to talk about the pressures you put on yourself and why you may not feel motivated now. In fact, I'm going to give you the answer why you may not feel motivated now. And it's probably not going to be what you think. And one thing I do want to do, guys, is I want to hook a cord up to this. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back. 1 second. I mean, like 1 second. You can probably still hear me. I just want to plug in here because I didn't do this beforehand. And it was really weird. All right, let me get plugged in here. Okay, that's good. That's good. All right, so it was really weird because I tried to use my StreamYard software today, and I'm having an issue with StreamYard. If you've ever tried StreamYard, check it out. So you got some more rain today. Yes, motivation is rough. It's rough because of what we've been taught. We've been taught all wrong. I'm going to show you how what you've heard about motivation is entirely wrong. It's wrong. They told you the wrong thing. And then when you're not getting the results you want, you're like, well, darn, maybe there's something wrong with me. I'm not motivated. There's nothing wrong with you. It's what you've been taught. It's the direction you've been taught that's messed up. Oh yeah, don't forget, subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to ring the bell. Turn on all bell notifications so you're notified each and every time we go live. Very important that you do that. Now, motivation. Let's get into this, okay? What are some things that would demotivate you? In other words, things that make you not feel like doing anything, okay? And I think one of them would be illness, okay? If you don't feel good, if you don't feel healthy, you're not going to want to do stuff. Now, here's the problem with feeling healthy. Number one, health is not something you are given. Health is something you have to work for. So as a kid, I always heard, some people have good health, some people don't. That's not true. That's not true at all. The truth is you have to work for good health. Now think about this. If you eat cheeseburgers and fries or pizza every single day, and you stay up late and you're drinking and partying, how healthy are you going to feel? You're not going to feel healthy. You don't go to the gym, you don't exercise. Now, I am not perfect by any stretch of the imagination because I eat cheeseburger and I eat fries and I eat pizza, but I don't eat it every single day. Last night I had a salad, okay? Every now and then you got to throw a salad out there. I do go and work out. I work out, I do push-ups, I do sit-ups, I do treadmill, I do all these things, and I don't want to do any of it. I don't want to do any of it. And you're saying, well, JR, how'd you get motivated to do it? I didn't. Here's the truth. All right, let me explain to you this motivation thing, which we are so perplexed by. Let's see here. Tyan says, struggling to figure out all the things, so that is rocking my confidence. Okay, I'm going to give you that one too. Remind me to get back to that one. I'm going to give you that one. Motivation is not success. In other words, motivation doesn't come prior to success. Success comes what? When does success come? Success comes when we do things that we don't want to do and we get a good result. Now think about this. Motivation is not success. Success is motivation. I want to give you an example. I want to tell you a couple stories. The first one, I used to manage a lot of salespeople, lots of salespeople, okay? And those salespeople would say, I just don't feel that motivated today. Boss, I don't want to talk to customers. I don't feel motivated. Okay, now, if I take that same salesperson and they go out and they help a customer, and that customer buys a vehicle from them. Back then we were selling cars. That customer buys a vehicle from them and they make a nice profit and they make a nice commission, okay? What happens to their motivation at this point? Well, you're going to say, well, it's going to go up, JR, because they just had a success. Correct. So is that person more motivated to go wait on a customer than the person who hasn't waited on anybody yet? And the answer is yes. So here's the real truth. Motivation comes from success. Motivation comes from success. So the key that we have to get to is get to success. That's what we have to do. We got to get to success first. How do we get to success? We constantly do things that we don't want to do. What? Yes. That's where it's all at, guys. This is where it's so messed up. People are telling you that you need to just get motivated and go out there and get some successes. And that's a lie. It's a bold-faced lie. You're not going to feel motivated to go get successes. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Here's what you have to do. You have to go do things that you don't want to do and hope to get some successes. Because if you get some successes, it's going to motivate you to do those things even more. Example, I want to go to the gym. You want to go to the gym, okay? Why? We don't really want to go to the gym, right? Nobody wants to go to the gym. Nobody wants to join a gym. Nobody wants to lift weights. Nobody wants to ride a bike. Nobody wants to get on a treadmill. They want the results of doing those things, right? They don't want to have people see them work out. They want to have people see them in shape. So they want the results of that thing. So understand that you're never going to feel motivated to do painful things. It's not going to happen. Quit waiting to feel motivated. I listen to David Goggins all the time. If you don't know David Goggins, look him up. Good morning, Susie Judd. What's going on? Richard Brown is in there, of course. And David Goggins will tell you, I mean, he's one of the fittest guys in the world. He runs 100, 200-mile races. He's been a Navy SEAL. He's been an Army Ranger. He's done so many things. And he says every morning he looks over at his shoes to go running and he doesn't want to do it. He doesn't want to do it, but he does it. And here's the big key, guys. It's not getting motivated to go out and get successes. It's forcing yourself to do things you don't want to do at all. That's it. It's forcing yourself to do things you don't want to do to get successes. And then when you get those successes, you're going to want to do it more. I'll give you another example. When I started my survival food company, I had my own brand of products. And these products were great, but nobody knew about them. Nobody was buying them. So I had this idea that I wanted, Susie just agreed. Thank you so much. I had this idea that I would start calling other people's websites and trying to get them to put my product on their site. And I called and I called and I called. Everybody told me no. They said they weren't interested. They said that they didn't know anything about my products. They said that, they didn't think it would sell. They said that they didn't think they'd make any money. And I heard this all day long. Sometimes I would make 200 phone calls a day. I would send out thousands of emails and everybody told me no. But then one day I was into this for probably a couple of weeks. And then one day this guy said to me, he says, I'm building a website and I really like the idea of your survival foods. I'm going to put them on my website when I build the website. So this is pretty early stage, right? So I got this manila folder and I had this form that I filled out with all of his information and what his website was going to be and what his name and address and email and phone was. And I put it into that folder, and in the bottom of this file cabinet, which I don't even have file cabinets anymore, I put his folder and I said, look, I've got somebody that's going to sell my products. I'm so excited. And I was. Matter of fact, I was so excited that day I made more calls than I had ever made. I sent out more emails than I'd ever sent out because I had somebody that believed in me and believed in my product and they were going to sell it. Now, that one guy really motivated me to continue my business. I have since sold millions and millions of dollars of my product. I've had days where I sell over $100,000 a day. Now understand, I would never have gotten to $100,000 a day. And no, I don't do $100,000 every single day, so don't think that. But I've had days that I do. I have days I do 50,000 or 30,000 or 60. I have some people that have spent almost $100,000, just under $100,000 on one order. But why? How did I get there? I got there because one guy said he was going to sell my products on his website. And I got news for you. That was in 2010. He never built the website. He never sold any of my products whatsoever. So that technically was not even a success. But in my mind, I perceived it as a success. In my mind, I said, hey, somebody has enough faith in me to say, hey, I'm going to put my products on my products on this website and I'm going to sell your products. That's what he said to me. And it motivated me so much. I was so excited. I said, I got somebody. And then I got somebody else. And I got somebody else. And I got somebody else. And now if you go out there and you Google, and let me put it in here. I'm trying to find my notes here. Google Survivalcave food. Okay, this is my survival foods. If you Google Survivalcave food right now, and you can open another tab, you can still hear me, you're going to find, matter of fact, I'm going to do it right now. Can I share my screen on this? I think I can. Let me go over here to OBS, and I'm going to share my screen for just 1 second. Okay, and I think all I have to do is move this up one. Yes, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this live, real time. I'm going to Google Survivalcave food. Now this was just an idea I had, just an idea, okay? Now if you look, as of this morning, there are 17,100,000 results because one guy said he might sell my products. And here's my product right here, Survivalcave, right? It's at Homefront Emergency, okay? And there's other survival food products there, but look at this. My website is at the top of the results for Survivalcave food, okay? And then there's some other survival companies out there. Here's my domain authority right here. Survivalcave food, domain authority 34, okay? And if you look down through here, look at all this. This is all my products, guys, because one person, look at this, Amazon. Here it is on Amazon. Here it is on Amazon. Here it is on Off-Grid Warehouse. Here it is on Directive 21. Here it is on Homefront Emergency. It is all over the place. If I keep clicking, you're going to find thousands of websites have my product on it. Thousands of websites have my product on it, guys. That is insane. Now let me get back over here to OBS. But understand where this came from. This did not come from me being successful at first. It came from me doing things. Let me move this up. It came from me doing things that I didn't want to do. I did not want to call all these people. I did not want to make 200 phone calls a day. I don't do that now. Now I don't. Now I just have money rolling in, which is really nice. And that's where you can get to. But quit waiting for motivation to come tap you on the shoulder. Quit waiting for yourself to feel motivated. Because whoever told you that you need to just go get motivated and you're going to go get some success lied to you. They lied to you because nobody's motivated before they're successful. How could you possibly be? You haven't accomplished anything and you're going to be motivated? I don't think so. Now, I will tell you this. If I make a call today to somebody, I'm motivated. And I'm motivated because I know what a great company I have. I know the millions of dollars of products I've sold. I know how happy customers are with my products. I know these things, okay? I didn't have that in my back pocket before. Now I have that in my back pocket. Now I have all those people that bought my products. Let's see here. What? You're not going to motivate me? Well, I hope I am, but in a different kind of way. I want you to feel better about the fact that you're not motivated, because that's how you should feel. You should feel not motivated. Now go force yourself to do the things you know are right. That's what I want to get you to do. That's what I want you to understand today. You have to force yourself to do the things that you just don't want to do, but you know there's a chance of getting some success. This is true with running ads. This is true with finding new products. This is true with finding your love of your life. I mean, how many people did you ask before you found that person? Did you quit? Did you quit looking because some people told you no? Don't quit. There's no point in quitting. No, because you still got life. And as long as you got life, you can still go out there and you can get results. I don't want to run over too much, but that's the fact, guy. Now, I do have a few things that I want to help you with that may make it sound, let's see here, have a prosperous mindset, 100%. You know, I hear people say, and you're going to get me off on a tangent, but I hear people say, you know, they'll pick up some clothing in a store and they lie to themselves. They pick up the clothing and they look at the price and they go, that costs too much. That's too expensive. That's too much money, that item is. They're lying to themselves. How are they lying to themselves? Well, because it's not too expensive. You just can't afford it. That's the truth. Quit lying to yourself. Now, the next thing you're going to say is, I don't have enough money. I need more money. I don't have enough money. Then go get it. There is plenty of money out there. There's plenty of money there. Plenty of money. I'm sitting in this house right now that we just built. Beautiful Georgetown, Texas, overlooking my beautiful backyard here and my 12-foot ceilings here in this huge room, because I went out and did things that I didn't want to do. I didn't want to do them. Do you think I want to get up on a Saturday morning after I've got money in the bank, after all my cars are paid for, after I've got a nice house, after I've got my belly full, and sit here and work to convince you guys to be motivated? I don't have to do that. I have to force myself to do that, because I know that if I can get that message across to you, that you don't need motivation. You need success, and you need to force yourself to do things. And the only way you're going to feel motivation, the motivation is 100% a byproduct of success. Motivation never comes before success. It never will come before success. That's like saying, pay me a lot of money and then I'll go work real hard. How many times have you heard that? How many times have you heard somebody on a job and somebody says, why don't you do this on your job? Why don't you do this on the job? And here's their reply. You've heard this before. They don't pay me to do that. They don't pay me to do all that stuff. Why would I go do all that extra work when they're not paying me for it? Well, here's the truth. You've got to do all that extra work first. Then they will see your value, and then they will pay you for it. Now, I hear the negative stuff out there. I hear it already. The negative person saying, oh no, I tried that once. I tried working real hard and they didn't give me a raise. It didn't happen. They didn't give me more money. Well, so what? Keep trying. Get another job. Try something else. Don't quit, because here's the facts. There are people who worked really hard who make a lot of money. They weren't lucky. It's not luck, guys. Luck is a byproduct of effort. So probably blowing your mind this morning because you thought motivation was something you always had and you thought luck just comes to lucky people. No, luck is a byproduct of your actions. What are you doing to get lucky? The only way you're going to get lucky at stuff is go try a whole bunch of stuff. That's it. That's the big key to luck. That's the key to success. These are byproducts of effort. The thing you have to apply is real 100% effort. Think of the salesperson who doesn't go out there and wait on a customer and they don't feel motivated. Think of the salesperson who forces themselves to go wait on a customer, makes a sale. How do they feel after that sale? They feel motivated. Now they're motivated. Where did the motivation come from? It came from the success. These are byproducts, guys. Don't wake up in the morning and go, I'm just not motivated today. No kidding. No kidding. My son is a bodybuilder. And he's in great shape. And I don't know, can I find a picture of this boy here real quick? And he was a personal trainer. And he doesn't do personal training anymore because he got really frustrated. And he got frustrated. Let me show you him first. Let me just show you Patrick real quick. Well, this is him jumping out of an airplane right now because that's his hobby, jumping out of airplanes. But that's not the picture I wanted to show you. Let me just show you a little picture of my little boy. And you can kind of see what he is like. Let me find him here. And he is somewhere in here. Hang on with me. Hang on. Don't go nowhere because I want to show you a guy. Now, this is after he had his shoulder operated on right there. And yet he's still going to the gym. He says, well, I can work my legs. So those of you who say, well, I'm not good at upper body. Here's another picture of my little boy right there. That's a picture of him. And he quit doing personal training. And here's why. Because people would tell him that they weren't motivated. They would tell him that they like to eat too much. They would tell him they didn't feel like it or they got burnt out. That's what they would tell him. And he couldn't fathom it. He says, yeah, I like to eat too. And I get burnt out too. And I'm tired too. But I just do it because I want the results. So guys, if you're concerned about your motivation, and you may have been worried up until this morning, you may have said, it's my fault, JR. It's seriously my fault because I am just not the kind of person with a lot of motivation. That's on me. I'm just not a motivated person. You're like everybody else. Nobody's motivated. Nobody is motivated. People force themselves to do stuff. They get successes like what Patrick looks like right there, my son, and then that motivates them. That's where the motivation comes from. You're looking in the wrong place for motivation. Quit looking at nothingness for motivation, because that's what we do, right? We look at nothingness. Somebody who's seriously overweight, unhealthy, and they're sitting on the couch going, I don't feel motivated to go to the gym. No kidding. No kidding. But here's the truth. If you got off the couch and you went to the gym and you worked real hard for the next 6 months to a year and you cut back on your eating and you ate healthier and you looked in the mirror and you saw a change, would you then feel motivated? And the answer is absolutely. Absolutely, I would feel motivated. Well, then success, right, is the key to motivation. Motivation will never, ever come tap you on the shoulder. Sure, some days you're going to feel better than others. But if you're waiting for those days, they are going to be few and far between. Every now and then, when I go to the gym, I feel like going. Every now and then, not very often. 90% of the time, I don't want to go. 90% of the time, I don't want to write scripts for videos on YouTube. 90% of the time, I don't want to sit in my office for 10 or 12 hours and record videos. 90% of the time. But there's that 10% every now and then I get some motivation. I had a really nice comment today, and I'll share it with you. Somebody commented on one of my videos, and I'm going to see if I can find it here real quick. But the person was very kind to me. Very kind to me. Let's see here. This is what they said. They said, this is the most precise, concise, to the point, easy to understand advice and tutorial on how to maximize one's business thank you page. I believe this is the most comprehensive tutorial with examples that I can find on YouTube, with only the meat and potatoes. No fluff, I learned a lot from this. A major thank you for putting this video up. Would love to learn more marketing strategies from your channel. This comment right here, guys, that comment right there is my motivation. That comment is my motivation, guys. Reading that when I got up out of bed this morning and I said, well, I don't really feel like doing a live. That's not what I really feel like doing. And then I read that. I don't know if you can see it. I don't know if you can see it. I hope you can. And then I read that and I said, wow, I'm motivated now because I was able to touch that one person. If I'm able to touch that one person and make that one difference, why shouldn't I be in here helping you guys out? I should, because you know what? This today is going to touch somebody and they're going to say, you know what? I didn't understand motivation before, JR. I thought that was something you were just born with. No. They taught you wrong. They taught you absolutely wrong. Let me check out some of these comments here. Man, thanks for clarifying the difference. You've just taken away all of my excuses. Oh man, that's so good to hear, Tanya. Thank you so much. It's so good to hear. Let's see, Susie Judd, you are right. I just bought a house in Italy. Oh wow. And I live and have an office on Coronado Island in San Diego. Hey, Susie, I just moved from Scripps Ranch in San Diego. I am in Georgetown, Texas now, so I know exactly where Coronado is, and congratulations on your home in Italy too. Susie says, I actually quit my job after I spoke to you. Oh my goodness. And when I gave you a message that one day one day at Message Green in Scripps. Okay, yes, I remember you, Susie. I sure do. You are correct. You just got to figure things out and try. If I flub up along the way, it's going to happen and it'll be okay. Yes, it will. And here's the thing, guys. I think a lot of people don't try things because they're afraid, they're fearful that they're going to fail at some stuff. Now, let me clear all that up for you so you don't have to worry about this anymore. You will. You will fail at some stuff. But here's the wonderful thing about failing at stuff. There aren't that many things to fail at. Okay? There's not a million ways to do the wrong ad. There's not a million ways to screw up building an email list. There's only a handful. So what this means is every single time you screw up, every single time you make a mistake, you need to go, thank you, because I'm that much closer to figuring this stuff out. Now, let me give you another example. In sales, when I was managing salespeople, the ratio was you would sell 1 out of 5 people. 1 out of 5 people. You'd sell 1 out of 5. So you had to wait on 4 people that told you no to get to that 1. Now, obviously, you may sell 2 in a row and then have to go through 10 or whatever the case may be. But on average, it was 1 out of 5. Now, if you take that 1 out of 5, okay, that you just take that 1 out of 5, and let's say your commission is $300. We'll just throw something out there. You take 300, divide it by 5, and you get $60. Now, if I were to tell my salespeople, and I ask them this question over and over again, what if I were to pay you $60 every time you went out and waited on somebody? Didn't matter if they bought, didn't matter if they bought or didn't buy or what happened. I'm just going to give you $60. How would that change your motivation? Most people would tell me, they would say, well, I would be really motivated. Matter of fact, I would go out there and wait on all the people I could. Matter of fact, I'd stay late. I'd probably come in early. I may even miss lunch if you were going to pay me that way. If you were going to pay me every time I waited on somebody. But you see, that is how life works. It works just like that. Just like running ads, just like building your list, just like selling products online. Every single time you do something and you fail, you got paid. You may not have seen it yet, but you got paid because you will run through enough things that don't work and you will hit the right thing and it's going to pay off. And that's the one thing I really, really want to get across to you this morning, guys. You will come across the thing that works. It's going to happen for you. Now, we can expedite that, right? We can learn from people who've done it. You can go through my channel. You can watch videos. I've shown you this morning, there's 17 million results for my product. So obviously I did something right. I'm not patting myself on the back because tomorrow I could have a bad day, right? And the only reason I got to that point where I made that money is because I kept trying things and I kept failing. That's it. And there's no shortcut to that. I guess the only shortcut is to maybe listen to some of my stuff and do some of the stuff I recommend. But, I don't take too many shortcuts. Fail a little bit, fall down a little bit. It toughens you up. It makes you stronger for the, if you fail a few times, a failure in the future is not going to hurt you as much. If you never are used to failing, if you're never used to any pain, let's say you never go to the gym and you go to the gym one day and you get really sore and you went, oh my God, that made me sore. I don't want to go to the gym anymore. It makes me sore. It makes me hurt. Then you're probably not going to go back. But if you go, you know what, it made me sore, it made me hurt, but I know that's really building. And I'm going to go tomorrow and I'm going to go the next day and I'm going to keep hurting until I see results. That's the same difference. There's no difference. There's no easy way to this. But the wonderful thing is when you get there and you get to the success and you look back on all the hard work you put in, you're going to go, you know what? Wow, this was worth it, man. I busted my butt, but look where I'm at right now. Look where I'm at right now. And then pat yourself on the back and then stop and then move forward some more. Never quit moving forward. Let me read some of your comments here. Let's see here. You are correct. Just got to figure things out and try. I read that one there. When did you move to Texas, JR? I moved here, gosh, what was the date? I think we left the 18th or 9th. I think we got here like the 20-something, maybe 21st, 22nd. I can't remember the date now. 21st, 22nd, something like that. So we've been here a little over a month. We love it. It's beautiful. Gas is cheap. There's no personal property or no personal income tax. Food's cheaper. There's so many wonderful things about Texas. People are very, very nice. We don't have to deal with politics. Matter of fact, I'll share this with you guys. I didn't shave. Why didn't I shave? Here's why. I did a couple days ago because I had to do videos, but we have a dinner we're going to go to tonight. One of the real estate agents that we first met here, and this is a pretty wild story, and let me share it with you real quick. We came to Texas in November of last year, and what we wanted to do was and you're gonna love this story, we wanted to find a place to rent and live here for about a year so we could learn the area, learn the lay of the land, and just kind of see what's going on. Now, that was a risky thing to do, right? That's risky to just go move somewhere, not know anything about it, but it kind of was a calculated risk. I just knew I wanted to be here. So when we got here, we looked around, we couldn't find anything to rent. We were disappointed. We were like, we got here and we failed. We failed. It was a failure. We didn't find something to rent. But what we did start doing is we started looking at some of the housing developments, and we found a couple developments that looked really nice. Matter of fact, the one I'm in now, and I don't want to say what it is, but the development I'm in now looked really nice, but we didn't see the house we wanted. They didn't have a model that we liked. So we went to another development, and we didn't really like the development, but it was the same builder, the builder that built our home here, which is Perry Homes. Plug for Perry Homes. They build great houses. And we met this young lady there, and she said, well, there is one plan that we don't have a model of, and they don't have a model in the neighborhood you want, but there is a model, and it's a little bit of a drive. It's in an area called Dripping Springs. It'll take us about an hour to get there, and we can go there and take a look at this model, and it may be for you guys, because we wanted 4 bedrooms, we wanted a library, we wanted a dining room, we wanted all these different things, and we wanted it on one story. She says there is a model down there that we can go look at. So we got there, and we go up to look at the model, and it's just frame. It's just frame of a house. The house is not complete. And I said, well, this is just a framed house. This isn't a complete house. She says, yeah, but you could at least walk through it and kind of get a feel for it. So we walked through the house, and we looked at it, and understand we had failed. We had already failed, because we came, what was our goal? We came here to rent a home. And we failed. We failed miserably. But we liked this house. We liked this frame of this house that had no walls, had no appliances, had no exterior to it, just a frame, and we liked it. And we went back to the neighborhood that we were looking in, and understand this lady couldn't sell us this house because she didn't work in the neighborhood we wanted to live in, the development we wanted to live in. So she turned us over to a guy we had met there, really great guy named Dennis. I just talked to him this morning. And by the way, we're having dinner with her tonight. That's where this is leading up to. And we met Dennis, and we found a really nice piece of land Costs extra for this piece of land because it's a big flat piece of land. It's got some room we can move around, and we put a deposit on the house and we bought it. Now we did that in November. Since November, this house has gone up $250,000. $250,000 increase since November before we even moved in. Before we even moved in. Now, you can say, well, JR, your trip to Texas was a failure because you didn't find a rental. You could say that. Yeah, you certainly could say that. But that failure led to a success. What are you not trying that could lead to a success? It may not go in the direction you want. I started off selling cell phone cases online. I have a survival food company and I teach people how to make money online now. I'm doing nothing like what I attempted to do in the beginning, which was sell cell phone cases. I failed. I was a failure at that. But was I? Look at all your failures, guys. They lead you to successes. That is the point. The point today is you're not going to ever feel motivated until you have successes, and you're never going to have successes until you try difficult things. It's fact. Success is an offshoot of effort. Motivation is an offshoot of success. Okay? Motivation never comes first. Never, never, never. Maybe every now and then, not very often. Let me read some of your comments. Let's see here. I love that. Oh, and I'm going to tell you why I didn't shave. 1 second. I do want to tell you why I didn't shave. Hello, this is Tammy from Michigan. What's going on, Tammy? Just be happy. Oh, I love that. I love your name there. Let's see here. I love that illustration. Change my thinking every time I fail, I got paid. Exactly. Yeah, you do. It's not BS. I mean, you really do. True, you motivated me, and I started my own business after that day I talked to you. Oh my God, Susie, that's awesome. That is so great to hear. Susie was my masseuse in San Diego, and really just beautiful person. Let's see here. She says, I know, dude. Massage. Yes, I remember you. I remember you. Great massage too. Susie Judd, point is you never know how you meet someone. I met you and talked to you and then started. Oh, Susie, it makes me feel so good. It really does. You have no idea. Tell people that. Share that story so that other people will try things, Susie. It means so much to me. Let's see. Pivot and adapt, Tyann says. That's right. Take action and reverse later. Yeah, if you need to reverse later. I don't want to run over, guys. So that's what I've got to say. That's what I've got to say about motivation. I hope you're motivated now, but not in the way you think you're going to be. You may not feel like doing things, but now you understand that you need to do things to feel the motivation. Now you understand that success is going to come after effort that you don't want to do. Success is going to come after effort that you don't want to do. And motivation, well, that's going to happen after you hit some of those successes for doing things that you don't want to do. That's what it is. If you enjoyed this, guys, do me a favor, leave me a comment. You guys have been so generous and kind with all your comments. I really do appreciate it. I do a lot of these. Sometimes I have people show up. Sometimes I don't have people show up. But you guys have been an awesome crowd. Probably one of the best crowds I've had since I've done lives in years. You guys, the interaction, the honesty, seeing people that I've talked to and met become successful. That means so much to me. Really, guys, it means the world to me. So go try things. Come back and tell me what happened. Did you fail? Did you succeed? Remember, we failed at renting a house. We failed at that, failed miserably. Motivation is doing it when you don't want to. Well said. Thank you so much, Paul. That's exactly what it is. Excellent as all, excuse me. And thanks. Plenty of, well, wait, I can't read this. Plenty of notes. Okay, good. My computer's really far away in that. And I normally have my iPad off to the side, and somehow I didn't set that up today. And I can see the comments a whole lot better. I couldn't do it. When is the next live? I'm going to do one this week during the week, Paul. And what I'll do is I'll post it on the channel, guys. So what you want to do is subscribe to the channel, turn on bell notifications. And when you turn on the bell notifications, when I schedule that, you're going to get the notification also when I go live. What are you selling? Let's see here. Costa, I'm not selling anything today. I own several companies. I teach people how to make money online. I have courses. After this is over with, in the description, you'll see links to some of that. But I'm not selling you anything, guys. I'm trying to get you successful. And getting stories like Susie here, man, it means so very much to me. It really does. What a great session. Appreciated. Web Solutions, you're back. Web Solutions. James Breen, where have you been? You used to talk about growing a beard, but you haven't got around to it. Well, let me tell you why I didn't. The reason I am kind of half shaven now is because I want to be shaven tonight. We're going to go out to dinner and I want to look decent. And I know that if I shave this morning, and our dinner, get this guys, my dinner's at 9 o'clock at night. 9 o'clock at night. My wife went berserk. She's like, no, we eat at 5:30. We can't go. we just go. We're just going to eat later. But she's pretty adamant about that. But she was nice enough and we're going to go. So that's cool. So I want to shave later on for dinner. And James, I just got too hot with a beard, buddy. It just wore me out. But I'm so glad to see you back. James Breen is I don't want to say he's an old timer. He's a cool timer. He's a cool timer who's been around for a long time. And we really appreciate him. He always has kind things to say, but he also has really great insight because he's got some life experience. I love that. Can't wait to show you all the things I have set up once it's ready. I would love to see it, Tyann. If you need any advice, any help at all, let me know. And guys, I'm going to try to go live probably Tuesday, if that works for you. If you have any other days during the week you think it would be good for you, put them in there. If you say, I want Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, maybe I'll do all of them. But I want your input. I want you to put something in there. I would really appreciate that. Guys, thank you so much for being here. You've been wonderful. You've been generous. I really appreciate all your input. I love seeing your successes. I hope you understand motivation better now. Thank you so much for being here. Love each and every one of you. I'll talk to you next time. If I can figure out how to turn it off, 1 second.